Hi everyone. I have a message for you from somebody who you know who is alive, but you don't talk to them anymore. But they have things they want to say. There may be reasons why they can't or don't want to talk to you. And I feel like this person feels, when I tune into their energy, it's this like song by Ray LaMontagne called "I'll Hold You in My Arms." So there was like an issue because they always wanted to have a physical relationship with you and be close with you in that way and to like care for you in that way. And there were like limits to what the relationship was. I think also you both are very like pick up on others like intentions and feelings very easily. So it was sort of like you could both feel that there was energy here, but I don't think anything culminated, and it may have been quite a while ago. It could be a year ago, years ago, within the past 2 years, or really even within the past 10 years. It could be someone you've known for like a long time, or maybe just more recent, and it didn't work out. And I don't know that it ever became romantic, but I'm seeing a lot of like letters or emails or texts, communication, like written communication, and then in-person meetings are very intense and like electric. I think this person, the first thing they want to say to you is, besides the Ray LaMontagne song, which is very romantic seeming, I guess that they had feelings they couldn't express, is that they don't feel Ace of Air reversed. They don't feel like, I'm just going to read that as they don't feel like you got the right idea of them. Sorry, I have to take some water. I feel like because the swords can be about thoughts and ideas, and one can be one idea, so, and just the singularity of individual thought, which can be subjective. I also want you to know that, Father of Water, they know that you have like wounds from your father, like emotional stuff, and they don't like they wanted to be like a positive force, and you may not have ever even said anything about your father wounds to this person, but they like felt almost fatherly to you. Maybe there's like an age gap here. Even if it's a woman, it could still have like a fatherly energy. Son of Earth reversed. This person feels like they don't have you may have like thought they were like, okay, you may have like thought that they were not well-to-do, but like I don't know, maybe actually in your mind they actually really are, and they see themselves in poverty is what I'm saying, but they feel like they're in poverty. They feel like they don't have things to give you financially, and that may have like halted anything happening. What else from this person? What do they feel about the relationship? Because I'm feeling a lot of like, can't do this, can't do that, but we started with this like romantic song, so it's interesting. This person, I'm gonna do a little astral project and watch what they're doing. See this person making soup, like stirring things in a kitchen alone, like maybe everyone else in the house is out and they're hearing like the sound of like a dripping faucet, and they're actually like wondering how to fix that faucet, and then they're like spiraling thinking about this situation when they're alone. Usually they may have a family, or they may be married, or they may like live with family, or just roommates, but they live with others. But whenever the house is like empty, they are super like nervous, and for some reason they like, I think they make soup because it's easy and they don't like cook very much. Maybe it's like sandwiches. They like make some basic meal. It could be a man, no offense, but a lot of men don't know how to cook. Or some women are just like, I just don't want to do that, and I understand, but to me it's much easier to cook your own food. But what does that say about this person? This person is like, there may be a difference in personality. Like you are, maybe I'm getting someone who does like to cook. Like you're like, or if you don't like to cook, you think of food differently. You have different food ideas. Like maybe one of you is like a health nut and one of you is like constantly eating like cookies or something. I don't know. But okay, so beyond that, I'm also seeing them like writing in a journal, which may be new for them and maybe inspired by interacting with you. I think that you inspired this person a lot also with the Ace of Swords, that they want to tell you that. Not just like, it may have been conflict oriented at some point. We're going to get to why that happened. But I think something about your energy, how you dealt with situations in your life, even how you cut them off, they were like inspired, and they continue to be inspired by, and also just by your individual thought. Like maybe you're a very unique thinker. I'm a unique thinker. I have Mercury conjunct Uranus, which means Aquarius and Gemini vibes in my mind. And I have other weird Aquarius stuff in my chart. We all have Aquarius in the chart. Anyway, it's a great sign. The Hanged Man. This person is stuck in some sort of situation. Like, it's also that, the Hanged Man can be like related to Christ. They may feel like they've like sacrificed something, or like, or like they're like dead. Sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm starting to channel. Like they're dead in a way. Like they feel like they're waiting to be reborn. I'm thinking of Lazarus. I don't know if you know that story from the Bible. It's when Jesus brings someone back to life. Wheel of Fortune, Knight of Swords. I feel like this person is very, like, I'm almost wondering if they, I want to relate this, I usually don't, but I just want to relate this right now to Libra, Knight of Swords, when it's upright. I don't know if other people would. Probably most people would say Aries, because it's like a charging Russian energy. But I want to relate it to Libra here, because that's what I want to do. And because I see the Knight as being related to like feudal times when things were like chivalry was like a thing, and Libra is a sign of sort of getting along and with people, charming people, relationships. And Wheel of Fortune, maybe you were like, you were something they didn't expect to happen, is how I want to read that here. They didn't like see this connection. They were like kind of settled in their lives, but they also had a feeling that something was coming when you first called or first talked to them. There was, or first saw each other, there was like an instant connection, and also instant anxiety about you, and just like thinking about you and like what this connection meant, and like what, like, because I'm getting that it was like a rare sorry, I just gotta crack my shoulder, like a rare interaction already, even with the first 2 or 3 interactions. I think that I think one or both of you tends to have feelings and then intellectualize and step way back from them and be like, these are just, you like make reasons like, well, I'm just feeling that because of this, and it's really not about this person or our connection. But I think that like there actually was something here. There was like a God incidence is what I'm hearing. Like that you were supposed to meet this person and they were supposed to meet you. I'm seeing them like in a situation. I'm sorry, I'm just organizing my cards. It's really annoying of me. I'm sorry. It's really OCD. I'm seeing them like in a situation where they feel like no matter what they do, they can't change their situation. And they also feel like their like thoughts of you are increasing for some reason. It's almost like the more they let go and the more they move on with their life, the more they're like thinking of this interaction and why it happened. And I want to get some of the conflict part of it because I know there was like conflict. I think I'm getting the word like honeymoon phase is over. Like I think that you both were like getting pretty comfy, even if it was just a friendship. And then it was like the phase of, it's almost like this person wants you to know that they were scared. Like they were scared of how close it was getting. And they felt like they were getting healed of things. And it was like they weren't ready. And they also really liked you and like romantically wanted you. And it was like, this keeps coming up in my recent readings. Like, I don't think this person like ever thought that that could actually happen. But it was like some fun idea. But the conflict came from like, just like petty arguments, almost like an old married couple fighting. Maybe there was like jealousy. I keep channeling The Notebook, okay? Great movie, so great. It's like about a choice, you know. She loves this guy, but then there's this other guy that she really loved in the past and she's never had a connection with anyone like that before. This is kind of like that. And I mentioned that too because, you know, they grow old together and obviously they look unrecognizable, the actors, the old and young versions. And I think this is a relationship that like goes beyond what people look like. And maybe actually this person is very insecure about their looks in some way, even if they're very attractive. Sometimes really attractive people actually are more insecure because there's a lot more focus on their looks, and they're always trying to like measure up. But I think that this person isn't seeing that you saw them for who they were inside and you valued and cared for them for that, for their heart. But they also felt that way for you, which is really lovely. Like they think that you're very like attractive, but it comes from like this deeper need in their heart space to connect. Like that, like it's sort of like something in your eyes, like it's just like it clicks in when you look at each other. And it's like they've never experienced that before. And you both, I think this also keeps coming up, you both like may be or have been in other things. And it's like this draw though, and it may actually have been some time since there's been some interaction, but it's not the right card. What else does this person want us to know? What does this person want us to know? What do they want us to know? About the conflict or about anything? No, I just got the King of Swords stuff twice, so I'll use it. King of Swords, I relate to a sign of Aquarius. They are, boy, they dance to the beat of their own drummer. This person, they want you to know that, like, and they're also stubborn. And also, it may be that their humanitarian goals come before the relationship, and you may have to like understand that. But before I was bringing up the Libra stuff, like this person may be very charming, like a ladies' man, or like, or even like a woman who's like very flirtatious and like really good at like drawing people in. Or maybe you're like that. Maybe you're both like that. I want to know a little more about like what was talked about, or what the connection really entailed, and why it's so meaningful beyond the sort of magical chemistry here. Maybe pheromones are involved, I don't know. Okay, that's not our card. Spirit, what was the deal here? Please give us some info. Yeah. Grandfather, 7 of fire, endurance. So you can't see, but... Oh no, this is life force, not grandfather, sorry. Life force and endurance. So, this person, like, you like make them feel alive. And you also like showed this sort of unwillingness to give up in your life, but also that they see now that your like behavior or whatever was because of what you were going through, and like personally, like maybe, I don't know, you were going through something and they can see that now, because this person is very sensitive. I think that your feelings though are like, you don't really want to hear from them. Like you feel very hurt, and like maybe they said some really like painful things, but sometimes people say cruel things when they're already hurt by us and they are trying to lash out. And that's not an excuse at all. But you know, you may have just like changed your boundaries, and this person like couldn't come along, and maybe you just like grew beyond the connection. 8 of Cups. This is about walking away from a situation. It's not illustrated really here beyond her expression, but so like it's about walking away from an emotional situation. You chose to leave. They may have pushed you a little bit, but you were like, I'm out of here. There was like a negative, toxic energy within them, but also within the environment, and you were like, I smell a skunk, I'm out. Yeah, I think whatever went down here, where it seems like this person, I guess, just maybe pushed you a little bit to leave the relationship. They didn't want you to see something. It's almost like if you know somebody who like doesn't want you to see them cry, they might ask you to leave the room. They might be like, you know what, get out of the room. And you're like, why? And it's like, because they can't hold back their tears and they want to like seem macho or strong or whatever, not hysterical. It's like this person, you were getting really close to some trauma that they had, or some like under the mask stuff, and you were like willing, actually I'm seeing, to go there with them and like, let's look at that darkness, let's like heal that together. And they were like, no, I stay this way. That's where the Aquarius card comes in, because they were like, I am sort of in charge here. Maybe they like work in a situation with like where they're like serving the community, because Aquarius is about the community. So they have like a place of power in the community, maybe also, like, and using their thoughts and their words. And you brought 6 of Earth, breakthrough. You brought sort of this is about public recognition, I think. No, wait, 6 of Earth, what would that be? Oh, you brought, sorry, this is a different, I've been doing Rider Waite, so 6 of Earth would be 6 of Pentacles. So you brought some like kindness and just some sort of like one-way love. Like you showed them a little bit of unconditional love, because I think they were like, there were several times where they were like cranky or like nasty or whatever, and you were like still like doesn't faze me. I see your like true self. And that was about their stuff. That was like their whatever. Maybe they were incredibly stressed with some sort of like intense situation that you didn't know about. You know, maybe they had like children or family members, parents, sisters, whatever it is, that it was negative and really affecting them, or even just like a toxic relationship that they were in, you know, or just a toxic job. These are all reasons someone could act like crap. It's not an excuse, but they want you to know that like Three of Water fullness, you know, they feel like you fill up their cup. And you bring a lot of, you brought community to them, because actually, even though they're ahead of this community, they feel alone. You brought a feminine voice, and also they are taken and spoken for, and so were you at the time. They may not be anymore, but it was like, I always say, two's company, three's the crowd with that card. It's like, there wasn't actually room for your emotional depth, is what I'm feeling. What else do they want you to know? I feel like this person really respects you, actually. And they may have thoughts of like anger towards you because, you know, because I think that they don't see how, okay, you don't see how they really see you. You are like thinking that they hate you, that they're mean, that they're cruel, that they like, you know, whatever, but you're not seeing like the deeper like feelings that they have for you, and that's all just sort of like fluff and puff and puff. It's not an excuse. Okay, we already got that card. I want to get some closing cards, Spirit, about just their feelings, and I focused a lot on their feelings, and we're gonna go to your feelings. What were their feelings about this? What were their feelings about this? What were their feelings about this? Ooh, okay. Shaman. They felt like you guided them in some way. I love that there is a totem pole sort of structure behind this person. The totem pole is like, you know, you could say low man on the totem pole is one way to look at it, but also like maybe they felt that way in their life, and you showed them that like, you know, that's all kind of bullshit. Sorry to swear. Like, I'm seeing that you like showed them, you opened their eyes a little bit, and they opened your eyes in a different way too, actually. But mostly this person's feeling regret, and with the totem pole, like, I think you both experienced a lot of like feelings together, like a range of experiences over a period of time. And I think also this person was sometimes just wearing a mask to you because they didn't want to like show you the more tough stuff. We got the Chariot. This person like is sort of ready to go. If you'd ever, you know, they want to help you. I don't even know where that's coming from. They want to, I want to relate Apollo to the Chariot here. They want to, like, and Apollo's the sun god. They want to, and also the sign of Cancer, which can be about nurturing and leadership. Sorry. They want to nurture you, this person. And it's like weird that it got so animalistic, or like weird. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it sounds like actually there were like very tender feelings that became sort of like a fight. But what is a closing message from this person that they want you to know about just anything? The Empress. They see you as the Empress, like you make abundance wherever you create abundance wherever you go. You live in harmony. You bring creativity and fertility. You bring life. Maybe they were like in a dry spell in their life, and you brought like just energy and like light and joy and fun. even. Like, I'm seeing that you're very creative, whoever you are, and you brought that into their life. Even if they are maybe the artist, you brought like creativity that they weren't connected with. And also maybe the idea of like children or having children. Page of Swords. Also, they may want to have children with you. They may see that you would be a good, like, nurturing parent. Page of Swords. It's almost like it's just an inkling of a thought, though. Like, they don't think that you, like, they think this is all just in their head and they're fantasizing because it's been too long and what would they say and they're digging a hole for themselves and you don't care. But I think you do care, actually, Watcher. I think you, this person was very, very healing for you, actually. Like, you healed a lot of, like, issues that were, like, mental health issues with the small medicine wheel. And maybe just, like, practical issues that were, like, creating way for big medicine wheel changes. Maybe they helped you get organized. Maybe just seeing them was a structural thing that helped you. But, I'm sorry, I keep saying we're gonna get a final card. What do they want us to know? What do they want us to know? Integration. Wow. So, I don't even know what this would be in the Rider-Waite. Maybe, I actually don't know. Maybe Judgment? I'm a weaver, so I love that she's making a rug. I'm also a rug maker, a rug hooker. If you want to look, there's like a beautiful, like, I think it looks like birds around a tree, and then there's real birds above it, and really beautiful imagery. They want you to just integrate this experience, and like, they're also integrating you into their life. Like, they're like, wow. Like, the interaction was so intense and like just deep that they're like integrating the knowledge of like that can exist. And also just they want to integrate you into their life. They want to weave you into their life, and you're already in the fabric of their mind. They think about you and they feel bad for what happened. Even, you know, they feel bad for if they hurt you. And yeah, I'm actually hearing the song Wild Horses by Rolling Stones, which is like, you know, wild horses couldn't drag me away. Many versions of it. But like, you know, I'll probably cover it because I'll get bored. They feel like they don't really care about like this stuff that happened, because even if they like fixate on like, oh, you're so mean and like you're a bully or whatever, they know that that's like not the real you. And actually wild horses couldn't drag them away. Like they feel like they don't actually know if anything will ever happen here, but like it's just like weird. I don't even know if they're like doing anything in their life to like come towards you or speak to you. They may have like tried to, but like it's almost like they just want to watch you do your life because they're like in awe. And they may come forward at some point and you'll just be like, what? Or you may come forward at some point and try to work this out. And just know that if you do, like, this person, or if they do, you know, they actually really, they also see you as a wild horse. Not that you're gonna drag them away from their life or anything like that, but like that you kind of can't be tamed. You can't be like broken also. And they're like amazed by that. And you may connect with the archetype of the horse, which relates to Sagittarius. And it can just be about like, you know, I love the quote I've mentioned before by Robert Louis Stevenson, sit loosely on the saddle of life. It's a great quote. And also relates to Saul falling off of his horse at Damascus and seeing Christ and renaming himself Paul and becoming an evangelist. The horse here is like, that is a great song. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. It's like also, you know, they actually have a space now in their heart for you that like they can't leave that space, and they may never like act on it, but it's there. And let's just get a bottom of the deck card for our final closing card. Ooh, the Hanged Man. It's just sort of gonna be in suspension because there may be like a time period where they like can't reach out, or like maybe there's like restrictions where they can't reach out. But just know that this person does definitely think of you. I'm getting that you are very funny and sweet, and like they actually just like want to like hug you and hold you and, you know, cuddle and do all the romantic things that people do and be intimate and kiss, and like they never got to do that, and it became very frustrating at one point, I think, for both of you. One person more consciously, one person more subconsciously. And yeah, it's actually really sweet energy, and maybe you can get past some of these, like, I think the feelings of being bullied like are there, but I think that maybe you both felt that way, and I think that maybe you both like were just incredibly overwhelmed by the situation, and that's okay. You know, we live and learn, and if nothing happens with this, just know that like this person cares for you, and they actually think that you're very talented in some way. I don't know, maybe at what you do, or like, you know, maybe they felt insecure and also like criticized by you. I don't know what the situation is. This is coming out now at the end here. Also, there were things that both people held until the end to say. But yeah, they definitely, I'm seeing the color blue, and it's just like, I'm seeing the art of Edward Hopper and these paintings he did of doors that opened to the sky. I think you opened something to the sky. Also the art of James Turrell I'm thinking of, which has skylights involved sometimes. You like showed a new world to this person, and you also created this really beautiful world together. So I think it's something really interesting that could be explored, and I hope that you both will. And I think that maybe it has to do with leaving some toxic binds that you were both in, and just like moving on from those and finding new love with each other. So that's the reading, and I hope you have a great day.